So everybody, how do you stand out in a market packed with barbers and barbershops at every intersection in every corner? It could be tough to be noticed, man, when everybody's offering the same services, doing the same marketing. But I think there's some key moves you can make to separate yourself from the competition. And I'm gonna break it down for you right now as I walk my dog over here. Penny, say hi. Y'all can see her down there. First thing I think people need to realize, man, is everyone can do a fade, a lineup, a taper. And I know, you got the Simon Cowells, the American Idol judges that are on social media commenting on every imperfection on everybody's haircuts. I get it. Even I've been judged on my haircut. But there are about 200 million men in America that wouldn't be able to tell you the difference in quality of a fade between my haircut and your haircut. I mean, go to Walmart, go to a movie theater, go to a fair, look at the people around, and maybe 1 out of 100 men walking around will have a fresh fade that you would see on Instagram. If that. 1 in 1,000 will have the type of haircut you see on those Instagram haircut videos that get crazy views, man, because there's some really talented barbers out there. I think maybe for me, the best analogy I would give is I can't really tell you the difference between a painting that's worth $1 million and one that's worth $10, to be honest with you. I know that I don't want to offend nobody, but that's just the reality. And I think most people are like that. And guess what? Most barbers are serving most people, right? So I think that's the first thing we need to realize. You're probably good. You're probably good enough for most people. And so have that conviction behind you. Have that belief. Don't limit your belief because you think your haircuts aren't up to par. They probably are to 99% of the people walking around. And so if that's the truth, the next step is, what's the experience you're giving to your customers? Because I can tell you right now, I'm opening my 10th barbershop. We just signed our lease for our 10th location, have over 85 barbers, and have had thousands of barbers that I've worked with. Oh, look at my baby. She's having a good old time. What you doing? How did this happen? You know why? Because she's rolling around on the ground playing. And I know I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying attention to you like I should. I'm sorry, babe. That's the baby. That's why. That's the baby. Look at her. Sorry, she was rolling around in the grass. You could tell. Oh, there she goes, trying to get my attention. Watch. All right. The cutie. All right. Let's get back to this conversation. I'm gonna let her roll around over here for a little bit. She's enjoying herself. And so this is where it begins. You gotta craft your brand. And I know most barbers think that their brand is some stupid logo that you'll see like some emoji character, some cartoon character on Instagram or in the Facebook group spamming you about getting a logo. I know that's what everybody thinks brand is. The logo is the last thing that matters. It could literally be a check, and that check can mean more than done, right? It means Nike. It means winning. You define what people feel like when they think about you. That is branding. What do they feel when they think about you? And that comes from the experience that you consistently provide. What does that branding look like to you? Define it, become it, exude it, and be consistent about it. What kind of vibe do you bring to the table? Like on my Instagram, bro, when I was building my clientele, I wasn't just doing before and afters and haircut videos and stuff. I was sharing me. I was sharing my vibe because ultimately that's what people are signing up for. That's what people are staying loyal to. Because a lot of great barbers in Tampa, a lot of great barbers in Florida, they can, don't get it twisted, they can replace every single barber in the world can be replaced. Oh, come. I know. Can be replaced by another barber who's just as good, if not better. Go on Booksy. There's a bunch of barbers sharing clients. No, not trying to take no shots, but I'm just sharing an example. And so do you want your brand to be you have the best quality haircuts in the world, which is a really hard brand to uphold. And I mean, I would be, Penny, no, come. I would be miserable trying to uphold that brand. It's a lot of work, man. Or do you want to be the one go-to barber that's going to give the best experience? You're going to get a great haircut, a good haircut, maybe not great, but a good haircut consistently, good service. Guy's always going to show up, always dependable. If that's the brand you want to create, I can tell you there's a lot more customers searching for that branding than the other way around. And so whatever your strength is, you need to lean into it. If you're not the type of person, guys, that's going to do a 7-step hot towel shave, a back massage, and a foot rub every single customer, then don't do it, because that's not who you are. If you're willing to give complimentary enhancements to every customer and your demographics wants it, then that's who you are. And I know there'll be barbers that hate on that too. They always hate. Everybody always hating on somebody. No matter what, people are gonna hate. If you're the best quality barber or you're the best customer service, if you charge 100, if you charge 10, somebody's gonna hate no matter what, guys. And And so whatever your brand is, the only opinions you should care about are your customers. And I think that the barber community is really starting to lose sight of that, caring way too much about other barbers' opinions and not what your community cares about. The people who are walking in these sidewalks. I want to go up to people, approach people that are walking their dogs, compliment their hair. I want people to know me as that guy, the barber. If you want a nice haircut, nice experience, somebody who's going to care about your appearance and put their best effort, best foot forward to giving you the appearance that you deserve, I'm your guy, right? I want to be that guy in the neighborhood. And I think you shouldn't do everything based on money, right? Your brand is your brand is your brand. And so do you want people who are going to invest in themselves and their appearance? That's who you want to attract, right? So you should be that person who wants to invest in themselves and their appearance, right? And I admit, I ain't never been the best at doing that. Like I always was the barber who got his haircut last. But where I made up for that was I took pride in my tools. I took pride in my stations. My clients loved the fact that I always had the newest thing. And anytime every week I came into the shop, I had something cool, something new, and the barbers would be talking about it. And then the clients would ask about it. And I never forget when the Babeless Gold FXs came out. That was such a big deal. The whole gold setup. Man, my clients were going crazy about it. And then when I came out with the wireless powered mat, the Bean team, customers love that. They love that you're constantly investing in yourselves, and they feel like they're going to a barber who's always updated, who's never behind, who's with the times. And a lot of customers, that's what they want in life. They want to know that they're going to the place that is up to date. Like, I don't want to go to a gym that's got outdated machinery. I mean, some people do, but I don't. And I think the majority of people don't. Just like, I wouldn't want to go to an outdated museum or an outdated restaurant or with things, imagine, like, I don't like going to restaurants where the chairs are all taped up together. Do you? So a lot of barbershops operate that way, but then they want to charge $100 for a cut. Crazy. And this is a barber talking to barber. And so I pretty much touched on this, but you have to master the art of client relationship. Bro, the amount of barbers, even today that work at my shops, bro, there's some barbers, bro, that, look, it is easy. I would say there's locations at Headlines where you can have zero clientele, just show up and you'll make 6 figures. The amount of barbers that we've had that worked at locations like that get in their own way, that feel entitled, that feel like they're the most important person in their world, which is cool, except when you put that out into the world and you act like that, you make decisions based like that. And what ends up happening is, a walk-in comes in, you got a 30-minute window, and you don't want to take the walk-in in because you don't feel like doing that type of haircut, or because you don't feel like doing a 12-year-old kid or a 10-year-old kid or an 8-year-old kid, or because, he's just a walk-in. He's probably, like, there's literally barbers who think like this. Oh, that's a scissor cut. I ain't doing that. And we'll sit in their chair and do nothing. With that mindset, guys, you're going to attract exactly that. And these are the people who make the least amount of money in our shops and wondering why, and blame everybody else. Blame the walk-ins. The walk-ins aren't good enough. We're attracting the wrong clientele. Like, no, bro, it's you. I've turned $15 customers, guys, into $100 customers with consistency over time by showing my value to people. Real value to people, not just fads and trends. And so I'll go on and ramble sometimes, but hopefully you guys are getting value from this. And so presentation matters, relationships matter, but I also want to make sure you guys understand, relationships are not just like network meetings, stuff like that. It's like nurturing your customers, checking in on them. So we do text campaigns and we do email campaigns, and we teach you guys the best practices, the best ways to do this. We wish our customers happy birthday. We remind them that, Valentine's Day is coming up. You better look good for your wife. You better look good for your husband. We do all of that. And I think if you do that because you want to make sure you're looking out for your customers. People want to feel like they're being looked out for. Imagine being able to go to a barber that's always looking out for you. Going to a massage therapist that's always looking out for you. Going to an accountant that's always looking out for you. We live in a world where everybody's so into self-interest, which is normal and that's human. But imagine being around a community that's always looking out for you. That's the type of barbershop community that we want with our customers. And just to cover presentation again, presentation doesn't mean the car you drive, that you wear a suit and tie to work every day, that you cut hair in a collar shirt every day. Doesn't necessarily have to be presentation. You know, I wear tank tops and stuff like this, but what I put on my social media, what I speak about, what we honor in the barbershop, what's on the walls, what's on the television, the type of music that's being played, that's also presentation, and that matters a lot more. You can pretend to be whatever you want, guys. You can dress to look like whatever character you want, but if you can't back it up with actions, that's a temporary presentation. That's present only. You get what I'm saying? No, we need to become that. And that's what branding is. Penny, please stop pulling me, girl. And so with all that being said, that's why social media is important. I know there's a lot of old heads. There's a lot of people who stay away from social media. Social media is going to embrace who you already are. If you're a dramatic person, you're gonna get a lot of drama. If you're a businessman, you're gonna see a lot of business. If you are a comedian, you're gonna see a lot of funny stuff. And if you're looking for it, you definitely gonna find it. But what I use social media for is just to document everything I just talked about. Everything I just talked about is to just document that. It ain't gotta be no more complex than that. You don't gotta learn about hashtags. You don't gotta learn about algorithms. You just gotta present yourself and do that consistently. And every 30 days, look at the data. How was everything performing? What was your most engaging post? What was your best performing post, right? And then you double down on the things that are working, and then you try new things. But just do what you're already doing, so it doesn't feel like extra work. Hello? But don't go on doing that stuff if you haven't fixed everything else that we talked about in this video so far. Fix that stuff first. You got prerequisites, and then start documenting it. Use your phone. I've used my phone for how long? With every video, even with tutorials. I think I was making $13,000 a month on YouTube with my phone, just straight recording haircuts with my phone. And I say that not to brag, but to inspire you guys. And I don't do that. I don't make that much no more off YouTube. I barely make anything off YouTube anymore. But at that time, that season of my life, that's what we was doing. But that's not why I was using YouTube. You get a much higher ROI by using YouTube and social media for your business and your branding. A much higher ROI. Wasn't chasing AdSense dollars. So I would post carousels. I would post reels, stories. Start with YouTube, chop those up, put those on Instagram, on TikTok. You got long form, then short form, and just do what you can do consistently. Don't get fancy with it. Just do what you can do consistently. Eventually, over time, you'll stack on that. And 5 years goes by. I remember when I thought posting 2 videos a week was insane. And I just did what I could in the beginning. Then it became normal to post every day. Just like a lot of you guys might think doing a 30-minute haircut is insane. It takes you at least an hour to do a haircut. But just keep going. Watch how in a few years, you're gonna look back and be like, man, I can't believe I was taking an hour a haircut. That's how it works, guys. And so with all those things that we just talked about, they stack. And then it's just consistency. Who can do it the most consistently for the longest amount of time? It's almost impossible you don't grow. It's that simple. But it's also simple not to do it. It's also simple to allow people around you, negative influences, and your own intrusive thoughts from convincing you this is a waste of time and it's not working. So if you're feeling stuck in a saturated market, I want you to remember this. Standing out isn't about being flashy. Sure, standing out is about being different. But in most situations, I would just say offering real value that helps. You might not get rich overnight, but over the long term, it'll be stable, it'll be consistent. 3 to 5 years passes by, and I bet you're doing a lot better than the guy who skyrocketed, did great for a year. Let's see how they're doing 5 years later. You always offer real value. Always. You master your brand. You get better 1% every day. You build relationships better 1% every day. And you document everything that makes you unique. Because believe it or not, there's probably, 1,000 barbershops in Tampa. Maybe, maybe less, maybe more. I don't know. That number's probably crazy, but I'm just throwing a number out there. Let's say it's 1,000 just for the sake of this analogy. The standard is so low in this industry that if you just make sure every barber in your shop says hi to every customer, whether they're theirs or not, says bye to every customer, whether they're theirs or not. If you don't have music that's cursing, if you switch up the music consistently. So there's a little bit of something for everybody and everybody's preference. If you actually listen during the consultation, if you charge a fair market price and allow the demand to push your prices up, I have no problem with charging $100 a haircut. We have barbers that do. We have barbers that charge 60, 70, 80, but we have barbers that charge $25. They start at a fair market and they allow performance and demand to dictate their price. The customers tell them to raise their prices. Unfortunately, I guess what I'm trying to say is unfortunately the standard's so low in our industry, guys. It doesn't take much to stand out. Once you figure that all out, or if you need help figuring all that out, join our 6-figure barber mentorship program. $99 a month, you can cancel anytime. Low risk, high reward type of opportunity. It's lose a little to potentially gain a lot type of risk. Those are the type of risks that I like. And so that's the type of opportunity that I'm offering to the barber community. But once you've figure that very foundational thing out of what branding really looks like, and having a mindset that for some reason is starting to become the minority mindset in our industry, then you're ready to scale. I know you probably see some of the stories that we share and think there's no way, but you can make 20K a month charging 25, 35, 45, charging fair market prices, guys. Doesn't have to be crazy. And then from there, you can build a business that grows into working 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 2 days a week, 0 days a week, and still making an amazing income. Let me know what you guys think about everything I'm talking about in this video. I'll see you guys later.